playing that Slave. That like the movie. I love that song Snapshot by Slave. And I wanna snap you. Check it out, that's so deep. This is my wine for the day. Rancho Sasqua, Central Coast, California. Saying that. Let me turn this down because I don't get a strike. I got to get through a lot of music on the last video, but they struck the Tina Marie I was playing. So 7 minutes of yesterday's video is blurred out because of the Tina Marie song I was playing. What's up, y'all? You struck a nerve that's so deep. I love that song. See, funk in the early 80s was going into a whole new direction. And Steve Arrington, them cats was taking it there. But the industry came in and said, you know what? No more funk. Do y'all know, according to Whitney Houston's documentary and her family, that are the people who put together the documentary, this is something that they said in her documentary, that when Whitney was coming around, when she was coming up, Clive Davis said specifically, I don't want her singing none of that George Clinton funk stuff. What's up, Rocky? And Whitney Houston, do you know that we never got to see the best of Whitney Houston? Because she was more in that funk lane, but Clive Davis made her stay in that pop lane. And Whitney Houston, the first song that she sang that was of her choosing was I'm Your Baby Tonight. That dropped in 1990. Her first two albums, we didn't really get to hear Whitney. And Clive Davis made sure that she didn't sing none of that funk. Can you imagine if Whitney Houston was teamed with a producer like Steve Arrington, with a producer like, what was some of the George Clinton, Rick James, and was allowed to really sing funk and really get into it, where her music would have gone? But the industry was like, hell nah. We ain't fucking with funk. So the industry killed funk music in the early 90s. And hip-hop benefited from it. Because hip-hop got to go back and get all the great funk tracks and replay them as samples. And somebody got to rap over those funk tracks and create a new, give the song second life. And that's how we're going to start tonight. First off, before we start, say what's up to Rocky. I got Rocky. It got a little cold on Rocky yesterday, so I made sure to get Rocky a hoodie. You good, Rocky? You good, Rocky? You good, baby boy? All right. So Rocky's good, so we good. I'm going to roll this blunt, drink some wine, and yeah, Wilder Gibson. Yeah, imagine Whitney Houston with Leon Silver as a producer. Come on now. Some of the funk and greatness that would have come out of that combination. But they wanted to whitewash our music, and in the 80s you had artists like James Ingram, Peabo Bryson. They had more singing a white style, like a more whitewashed version of black music. And that's how they took the herbs and spices out of hip-hop. I mean, out of R&B. And hip-hop, the herbs and spices that was taken and removed from rhythm and blues in the 80s, when hip-hop came along and they were sampling a lot of that funk from the 70s, it brought back that punch, that that we love as a people. And that gave hip-hop life. Hip-hop never had to go through the rigors of creating its own sound. It just took what already worked. But what's up, y'all? We had a good discussion today with Lord Jamar. Salute to Lord Jamar. I had a good time, breaking down the music history with him. So now we're about to have a just follow up. I want to microdose on some shrooms. But all this shit going on in LA, I got a lot of people who done lost everything, man. So I don't want to have a bad trip thinking about a whole bunch of negative shit. So I'm not gonna microdose, but I will smoke this reefer. Yeah, dig. But thank you for everybody that did watch the interview. And if you did not watch the interview with Lord Jamar, make sure that you go back and listen to it. It was dope. But salute to everybody up in here, 225 girl. Yes, that's Dynasty in the background. See, most of these niggas think this shit, they never heard the original or this. Yeah, most people there, that's that Adventures in Wonderland playing. Next up, I'm gonna play some Denise Williams. Yeah, so what's up, Aries? What's up, Stuns? Dwayne asks, how tall am I? 6'3". I'm sorry, I'm 6'2", not 6'3". 6'3" in shoes. I'm 6'2". Most people think I'm a short little round nigga because I'm always sitting down. And go to thewanb.com and get your hoodie. Black people, this goes to all you people that are tethers, that are mad that black people are claiming our history. I got a hoodie for you to buy. That's this. Black people don't owe anybody anything but an ass whooping. That means we don't owe you for participating in our music. We don't owe you for anything. The only thing we owe other groups is an ass whooping. Because y'all took our kindness and abused it. We've been nice to everybody in good faith. And I'm still nice to people from other groups in good faith. As long as you come over to black culture with respect and love, I still love you. I'm not here to group all immigrants together. Hell no. One of my goddamn people in my Black American Music Historical Tree Foundation, when that comes out, I'm going to have a non-FBA brother as one of the people on my board. Because he's a non-FBA brother that has respect for the culture and love, keyword, love for his own culture. He has too much love for his own culture and his own music, soca and calypso, to ever try to take away from what black Americans have done. So that's my brother. And when you see my Black American music family stuff, some of my events I'll be throwing, yeah, they're definitely non-FBAs involved. But they're non-FBAs who have a mutual love. And that's what I'm about, mutual love. What y'all know about this? What y'all know about this? Cause you love me, baby. Just the way I... What y'all know about that? Yeah. Hey, somebody said I'm smoking high calorie joints. Yeah. These are high calorie joints. And you know, I lace my joints to your mama's pussy wax, nigga. Instead of doing weed, instead of doing wax and dabs and lacing my joints with dabs, I lace my joints with your mama's thick ass pussy wax. And that's what gives me the high calories in my joints, bitch. But I said that with love. What's up, y'all? I believe, like me and Lord Jamar talked about that, and I want to get. That's how I want to start talking about the Lord Jamar interview. He made a great point talking about how people like to come around that they're mad at him for roasting. Because go check out Lord Jamar's song "The Elephant in the Room." That shit's funny as fuck, and it incorporates key elements within Black American culture and music, information and comedy. That is an old school way that Black people disseminate information through comedy. Because when you have a group of people who've gone through what we've gone through, we ain't got time to be sitting around crying. You all right, Rocky? Rocky over here kicking me in my ass because I'm talking to. You want to sleep, Rocky? You want to sleep? You want to sleep, Rocky? Look at Rocky. Rocky like, nigga, I'm trying to go to sleep. What's all this showing me on camera and shit? My nigga trying to sleep. But part of our culture is talking shit. We a shit talking ass culture. And if you want to grain you in, if you want to come around Black culture, talk on hip hop, come into a Black American room, then you can get these jokes too. Because other Black Americans, we throw that shit on each other all the time. And you know, we laugh, haha, that was a good one. And we keep moving. If you hold in a joke, nigga, that's on you. Yeah, you see my thoughts on modern state of music. It depends on what you're talking about, modern music. If you're talking about what the radio plays, what people get hyped on because it's popular, that shit sucks. But 2024 was a great year of music. And it ended with Lord Jamar, but let's go back to how it began. Man, we got music from Kendrick. I love that new missionary on the hip hop side. Anderson .Paak. They had a great album with his Knowledge album. No Worries album with not him and Knowledge. Layla Hathaway, Vanta Black, dope R&B. I mean, it's a lot of good R&B. Robert Glasper, put out some good music, meditation music. Brandy Younger, Kamasi Washington. My man J-Mo had a good song that called 1968 that came out last January. It's been a lot of dope ass fucking music that came out last year. Killer Mike, yeah. But if you're looking for the mainstream to give us music, some of it was good, but away from the mainstream, man, Terrace Martin's album, Left My Heart in Ladera with Alex Isley, man, there's a lot of great ass music. Yeah, so it's a lot of good music. Appreciate that, Sheldon Brown. So yeah, I want people to you said that Guy Cologne said our music is Latin based with the congas. I play the congas and the drums. The congas are an auxiliary instrument that, when done right, can enhance our music, but it's not what our music is built around. Latin music is built around hand drums. Black music is built around a drum set. And even when you talk about our hand drums, you got guys like Bongo Taylor, who played on a lot of your Motown stuff. And the way we play our hand percussions is even different than the way they play it. We don't play our music the same. Even when we use our hand drums, the hand drums color the sound. They don't drive the sound. The drum sets drive our music. Yeah, Javier, Cologne should be embarrassed by now. You know, this nigga's knocked out. Rocky knocked down. My little nigga knocked out. But that little nigga knocked out, snoring his ass off. But yeah, our music is built around the drum set. The drum set is in the bass. Drums and bass is the foundation of the Black American sound. Drums and bass. Thank you, Unique Organic. Yeah, we ain't playing around with that. Because when all you gotta do is just listen to anything I'm saying, you just gotta listen to our music. What's up, Creole King? Welcome, welcome, welcome. As a supporter, somebody asked what am I drinking? I'm drinking Rancho Sasqua. This is a special select from Rancho Sasqua. This winery is right behind Michael Jackson's Neverland Ranch in Los Olivos. Well, Santa Maria, next to Los Olivos. I love this. This is one of the lower price wineries, but the quality of wine is better than some $80. This is like a $30 bottle, but man, this shit is as good as the goddamn $80 bottles, honestly. Appreciate the super chat, Creole King. What's up, Andrew Como? Appreciate that. But what our music, the foundation is the drums and the bass, the drum set and the bass guitar. And when we talk about the electronic instruments that came later, they're all patterned. So if you're dealing with a drum machine, that's patterned after a drum set, not African hand drums, not Latin percussions. The drum set is what the drum machine is patterned off of. The 808 is patterned off the bass guitar. All these other sounds that came later, they're all based in the bass guitar. And it's the drums and the bass that lay the foundation for the rest of our music to go. Scarlett asked me to beatbox. Bring your mama's booty over here and let me beatbox off that, and I'll show you how to beatbox. I'll beatbox on your mama's flat ass, nigga. And then people come here and say stuff like, Dewan, you're a teacher. Why do you smoke and drink and cuss? Because I'm a man first, motherfucker. I have a good time talking to y'all about music. Going back to what we were talking about with Lord Jamar. Lord Jamar asking where did this come from? And thank you to all the new subscribers that came here after that interview and recently. I never set out to be a quote-unquote music historian. Matter of fact, I got given that title by some people who are really deep in music. I didn't give that to myself. I was told by some of the people who mentor me on music history to start calling myself that. Because I never set out to be a music historian. I'm just a self-taught drummer who's a fucking nerd. And whatever I do, I just have to learn the environment of what I do. That's just how I've always been. When I was listening to music on the old school station, like this song came out when I was a kid. I mean, not came out, but I remember hearing this when I first started playing the drums. This right here. See, when that drum, when I first heard that, when I was teaching myself how to play the drums, and I heard that doom 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 doom. Psst. When I heard Steve Arrington doing that on a hi hat, you see how it goes doom 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 doom. Psst. That hi hat part. When I was teaching myself how to play, I couldn't get that. I could get the straight. When I play the hip hop, I can get the straight beat. Dun, dun, ka, ka, ka. But I couldn't get that inflection. Dun, dun, dun. Psst, ska. That's a very coordinated riff I had to practice in my garage at my parents' house growing up as a 14-year-old. I practiced this song, Just a Touch of Love, for hours trying to get that groove. And so when I wasn't on the drums, I was learning about my favorite drummers. And when I heard that Steve Arrington, the lead singer of Slave, was also the drummer, I just studied him because I just wanted to know more about him. Like, this nigga's dope. When I heard about Mark Adams on bass, I just looked up any interview I can get that from these people, from listening to KAC, listening to Barry White, and any Barry White interview. I was just a curious nigga, and I still am. And I studied this information for myself. I never thought about teaching it on a mass level. I would teach it to the kids that I work with, but I never thought about teaching. I didn't even think it was valuable to teach, honestly, because if you go to my Facebook 10 years ago, or say 5 years ago, before the pandemic, 2019, before I got on YouTube, did the post, what I told y'all about Lester Young and creating the terms like cat and all that stuff. I was making posts like this on Facebook 6 years ago for 2 likes. Niggas wasn't really even valuing the information before all this Busta Rhymes bullshit. So I would talk about Sam Cooke and Dizzy Gillespie, and I would have like 5 Facebook likes. This wasn't a popular subject 5 years ago. But I just love music so much, I've always talked about it. It was Busta Rhymes saying black people have no culture. That made me realize, what? And then I heard Fat Joe, and when I saw Pete Rock, I liked Pete Rock too back in the day. Pete Rock and CL Smooth. When I saw Pete Rock put up a tweet, I think it was maybe 2001. He said, man, when I listen to hip hop, I can't help but think, man, this is Jamaican. And I'm like, in what world? So that made me get up and start teaching this history because I realized so many black people didn't know it. I didn't know. I thought what I knew, honestly, I took what I knew for granted up until maybe 4 years ago. I was like, everybody know this shit. What the fuck? I didn't realize I was a nerd. Especially musicians. I thought all musicians knew who Max Roach was, and Ornette Coleman, and Oscar Peterson, Miles Davis, Herbie Hancock, Donald Byrd. I thought all musicians knew these names. Maybe not the casual person, but everybody knows who Larry Graham is and Ron Carter. I thought these were household names. I didn't know that people didn't really know who these people were. I really didn't. I just got this book right here called Number Ones. I was reading through this book right here. I got this book recently. I flipped through this book. It's talking about all the different number ones over the years in black music. I was flipping through this and I was looking at my father-in-law is all through this book of number ones. You see right there where it says producer James Anthony Carmichael. He's all through this book. Like Natalie Cole, my grandfather used to work with Nat King Cole. And like these are people that just I thought was household names, the Spinners and Felipe Wynn. I thought this was some normal shit. I didn't realize I was a fucking nerd. I did not know that I'm the weird nigga that go around buying books like this. Look, my father-in-law again, Hello by Richie, James Anthony Carmichael. This is like, this is family. These are people I've been having casual conversations with for 25, 30 years. Just because I love music. I love my people, and this is my music talk was, I kid you guys not, it was purely innocent. It was just because I'm a fucking nerd, man. I'm a fucking nerd when it comes to music. I goddamn love music. Music is how I meditate. Music is how I relax. Music is how I decode. Look at this. This is another one, number one, my father-in-law, Diana Ross, Missing You. Look at where it says, producer, James Anthony Carmichael. Look at this on the same book, The Commodores, Night Shifts. He produced that. He's not on there. He produced that too. Was one of the producers. I mean, like, I could literally flip the page and come across somebody that I had personal conversations with and was a part of my musical environment growing up when I was 14, 15. What y'all know about Brick, Daz? I thought all this shit was just normal, y'all. I swear to God. I did not know, y'all didn't know this shit. I did not know this. You know? It's just family. It's just family in here. Harold Melvin and the Blue Notes. Eddie Kendricks. I love music. This is like the music. Look at my playlist I have right here. Like, I just love music. Look at the songs we have lined up for today that I'm playing. And then this is the other book from Lord Jamar that I told y'all to look up. When he asked me what books, get this book right here called Souled American. New Black Music, how Black music transformed white culture. And there you go, that's Charlie Parker. How Black music transformed white culture. The joint is jumping. I love that song. Look at Rocky. Rocky over here changing positions like, nigga, you too loud. I'm too loud, Rocky? I'm too loud, my little nigga? But this is another good book, Souled American. I mean, the information is limitless. The information is limitless. The information is limitless. Yeah, I'm just a music fanatic. And on top of that, I got respect for my ancestors, man. And yeah, we got African ancestors, but we also have ancestors that spilled blood, sweat, and tears on this land. And I gotta honor my grandmama and the music my grandmama listened to. What got my grandmama through to where she could have my father to where she can have my father and my mama can have me. I have to honor that. And one thing I did not respect about the whole hip hop 50 is you don't honor your ancestors. You don't honor where you come from. And that's hip hop's fault because hip hop doesn't honor where it comes from. You got Africa Bambaataa, who's Bambooty, whatever the fuck name is, going around instead of answering Layla Wills and what she's been saying about and putting out, and her not using the word allegedly about you. You can't answer that, but you rely on hip hop? No, nigga. Like, look, in my house, look, like I got funkadelic flags, like Billie Holiday. I bought that picture when I was like 20 of Billie Holiday, because like her nipples like kind of there. That's Lady Day right there. She was Lester's best friend. They met Count Basie's band in Kansas City. Like, this is my house. Like, that's my picture of Dizzy Gillespie over there. Like, this picture of Miles right here, I bought this when I was like 18. For like, back in like, in the late 90s for like 250 bucks. And I had like an $8 an hour job when I bought this picture. This was like early 2000s, late 90s, but my job was like $9 an hour working at the bank, $8, $9 an hour. I spent like almost a whole paycheck on this because I had to have it. Just the expression, look at the expression in Miles's face, how he's looking off into the distance. I'm wondering, like, man, what was Miles thinking? What was going on in that genius mind of his as he was giving us sounds that are going to last forever? This is me at 19, 18, spending a whole paycheck on a fucking portrait. Well, I got niggas who was spending their money on hoes and clothes during that time trying to tell me about my fucking music history. Sit your clown ass down, bitch. I said, but how to give your mother credit on the second album? That's dope. I'm just a fucking music nerd. And I have the ability to speak. I just happen to be, I have a really good, I'm a Gemini. Born on a Wednesday. Wednesday is the planet of Mercury. Mercury is the planet of communication. I'm a king of clubs. That's the natural born teacher. If your birthday is June 17th, you're a king of clubs too. And there's a king of clubs every month. You can go to my website, breakthroughcards.com, if you want to find your card. I'm just a nigga living in my purpose and role. I'm a natural born teacher. I started teaching the drums when I was 17. That's what niggas don't realize. My first student teaching the drums, I was only 17 years old, teaching a 9-year-old how to play. Yeah, Derek, I'm not new to this. I'm just a new nigga that people are finding, but I've been doing this. Yeah, I gotta do another incense and ashtrays pretty soon. Unique Organics. I gotta do another. I'm probably gonna do one. I may do one tomorrow night. I might do one tomorrow night. Yeah, this isn't something I did for a grade. See, with that being said, I still did it for a grade. Because I told y'all before, I spent 4 years in 2-year junior college. I spent 4 years at Santa Monica College before I transferred to Cal State Northridge to get my bachelor's degree in communication studies. And the reason why I spent 4 years in junior college, I wasn't quite sure what my major was going to be for the first 2 years. So I just took a fuck ton of classes. And you're supposed to transfer with 60 units. I transferred with like 106 units because I took so many goddamn classes. And a portion of those classes were music classes. in both Santa Monica College. My professor's name was Keith Fiedmont. You can look him up. He's a musician. And then when I transferred to four-year school, any elective I can get, if I could take a music elective, nigga, I'm taking that. So I don't have a degree in it, but I took about 6 or 7 different music history classes in college. So if any of y'all people who watch Lord Jamar, whether it be Funk Flex or Bambooty or anybody that think they're gonna get an idea, Chuck D, the shit you try. I forgot to even mention Chuck D. Chuck D called me a Chat GPT historian. Okay. Bring your lunch if you want to debate me, nigga. Because not only do I have an ear for music, I did kind of low-key study this in school if I want to flex. And if we really want to go there, I can read music, too. So I can show you the charts. So if we really want to go there, hip-hop niggas, you digging in the crate niggas, you DJ niggas, and let me say something to you DJ niggas. Who the fuck are you? And I say that humbly as somebody that teaches music history. Who am I? But who the fuck is you? You digging in the crate, nigga? All you doing is playing what somebody else composed. You just a nigga that like music. If you didn't take time to learn the history of the artists you sampling from and who they got it from, learn their biography and get in touch with them, you ain't shit. You just a stealing, thieving ass, looping ass nigga. That's all the fuck you are, DJs. Not all DJs, but you DJs that got too goddamn big for your britches. You play music, you don't make music. Remember that. Always remember your fucking lane. Like me, I was a session pocket drummer. I was never no fucking Dennis Chambers or Sonny Emery. I know my fucking lane. That's why I was always successful on the drums, because I'm going to stick to my pocket. If you are a DJ or a beat maker, be humble. Be humble. You get your music from stems, from loops and samples. You don't compose it. Let me give y'all an talk about. Let me give you an example. Let me see if I can find a song. I'm gonna find a song. Let me take Creole King, I appreciate that. Let me give you an example. Y'all know this song? Zoom by the Commodores. I've probably had 100 conversations with my father-in-law over this composition, because to me it's one of the greatest compositions ever put together. Do you know, let me tell y'all, let me break down to y'all the difference between a real producer and arranger and a beat maker. When James Carmichael composed this song, I asked him, how did that song get put together? He said, well, it was actually 2 songs in one, and one of the Commodores, I forgot which one he said it was, had a melody in his mind. And Lionel had lyrics in his mind. So he took a piece that one of the Commodores had as an idea, and those horn parts you hear, Mr. James Carmichael grabbed a pencil and a piece of paper. And every horn lick you hear, he wrote note for note. If you listen to the vocal arrangements, you hear them strings, Every note that those horns, the cellos, the violins, the oboe, every note that they played, he wrote it down as a composer with pencil and paper. And the notes that Lionel sang and the background sang, he wrote it down. And then after you write the notes, you gotta arrange it and put it together and layer it. And you do this cut, you do that cut. And you do this, and when you record the strings in one session. So not only did he compose the notes, then you take this 16-piece string section that you have, you take them to the studio, and you conduct them with the music you wrote, and you say, and now the violinist got a question, is that an A minor or a G flat? Then you got to go back to what you wrote, and then you got to say, no, play it. And then once you say play it, you got to tell them how to play it. How do you texture the note? Is the note staccato? Do you end the notes? Do you cream the notes? Do you sharpen the notes? Do you play with aggression and intensity, or do you play with a deep breath? All of these things the composer has to do in the studio when they're recording the strings. And then when you record the horns, how do you play the horn notes? Do you play them mellow? Do you play them aggressively? Do you play them softly? And you got to communicate this to musicians. And they have to play all of this, and you got to put it together. And then when the singer goes into the studio and sings, they're not rapping. They're singing. Every word, every note has to make sense and correspond. And in music theory, resolving notes and resolving changes from one part, that takes a lot of work. Like, can you imagine how long it took him just to this bridge? That's right there. No, that takes, do you know how much skill that takes to put that together? And then only for 40 years later, Pete Rock to sample a piece of that and say hip hop is Jamaican? No, fuck you. And I mean that. That's an insult. Like, I'll take a song that my father-in-law did also, Mr. James Carmichael, that hip hop likes to use. He put that classic together on the same album he did Zoom. So you leave Zoom, a classical composition, and then you turn around and go, these people gave hip hop all of this juice and sauce. And now you got a nigga who's a fucking DJ sampling it, trying to go around, hip hop, hip hop. Listen, look at me, look at me, look at me. No, nigga, fuck you. Let's look at the nigga you sampling. Jacob Wallace, it is past my bedtime. So tell your mama to drink some Gatorade and water so her mouth stay wet when she put it on my hobnob. When I come up in there, I need your mama to have a moist mouth. So please. It is past my bedtime, nigga. And tell your mama to keep the sheets warm. All right, back to what we talking about. So that's what I mean by hip hop having too much dip on its chip. The music that hip hop had to sample. See, a lot of these people have never been in a session at church when you don't have all these machines and recording equipment. I spent 20 years in church, playing in church, and to have a song come together, you hear the bass player just playing a lick, and you're like, oh, that shit sound good. All right, Then as a drummer, then the keys will come in like try to find their place. And then the singer will come in and sing some words to it. And then you be like, then you play it like, I don't know. You may have recorded it, you may not. Then you come back the next time y'all together and y'all sharpen it a little more. Then one of the singers wrote some lyrics to the melody. And then now the guitar player is like, okay, what's up? Hey, oh yeah, you weren't here last week. We was playing. And then they kind of come in and fill in. And you do that, and then there's always a part two where you get to a song. And if you've ever played, any musicians out there know what I'm talking about, to where you gotta put a change in to get to the bridge, because you have a first part and a second part, but you gotta create a bridge. But you can't just go to the bridge, you gotta lead into the bridge. How are we gonna lead into the bridge? Or are we gonna do a retard? These things, all of these decisions go into putting the song together and making the sauce that makes the song. And then you'll get a DJ that says, hey, I like that 2 bars. Let me take it. And I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to put an 808 on it. And I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to put a ding, 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 ding. Look at me. I'm the greatest. No, nigga, you're not. Good ear, yes. Greatest, no. Y'all don't it's the lack of respect a lot of these hip hop niggas is having for music that's really pissing me off. Yeah, right. Derek, chord progressions. You got songs like this. Let me pull up another song. Let me see. Shaka Khan. I heard the story behind how this song was put together. You got this song by Shaka Khan right here and Rufus. It's called "You Got the Love." I'm let me play it. It's this song right here. Listen to this start. This is Ray Parker Jr. on guitar. That's Ray Parker Jr. So, from what I heard, how that song goes, Ray Parker Jr. was in the studio playing around, and he was playing that lick, and then the rest of the band started kind of grooving around it. And they played that, and Shaka heard that, and Shaka improv these lyrics. She literally just got on the mic and started singing. Shaka Khan heard the melody and then just filled it in with her talent. And then that's how that song ended up becoming a thing. It takes a lot to put a song together, y'all. Sometimes a song can come together in 2 hours. Sometimes a song can take like 4 months. When Mr. Carmichael did All Night Long with Lionel Richie, he told me that took him a few months to put that song together because the song just wasn't coming together the way they thought it would. It took months. Like, this song right here, let me play. This song by Lionel Richie. And that's actually a drum machine, by the way. Hip hop, my father-in-law, Mr. James Carmichael, was using a drum machine before hip hop. That first part of All Night Long is actually a drum machine. When he put this together, that Calypso feel, mine is one of the biggest Calypso songs of all time. By the way, composed by a Foundation of Black American from Alabama. You see how the song starts off and then it crescendos out throughout it? It took a few months to put that song together, yo. Months. Because they didn't have, they couldn't go to and say, let me take this sample, let me take that sample. And here's the thing about hip hop. You niggas don't be having intros. Y'all don't be having bridges. Y'all don't be having vamps. Y'all don't have outros. Y'all don't have progressions, crescendos. Y'all, all of those elements that give the song life and breath, you remove and don't have you even have in it. You really dumb down the music in a lot of ways, Pete Rock. That's just the truth, Pete Rock. You a great goddamn hip hop producer, but your version of the songs that you sampled is actually fairly dumbed down relative to the first song that was put together. It don't have a lot of the life that was in the music that you sampled. You've taken out. When you hear a song like All Night Long, that was a song of the 1984 LA Olympics. That's a song of the world. Mr. Carmichael sold over 100 million of them things. And this is during the time of Michael Jackson. They sold 100 million of them things off of pen and paper. Over 100 million of them things sold. We got to understand music is some serious business, y'all. Music is serious business. The Mizell brothers don't get no credit. But you got some phony ass hip hop sampling nigga that want to say music is Jamaican. Don't even want to acknowledge where you got it from. That's a good Origin Kimmy had a good question. Should hip hop producers be considered more music curators than music producers? That's a good, I never thought about that. Probably. Now you have your Dr. Dre's, Lord Jamar, your DJ Quicks, who they may take a sample of something, but they build a song around it. I'm not saying all hip hop producers are like this. You got your doctor, you have certain producers that can take a sample and build a whole song around it with original play. But when it comes to the biggest hits in hip hop, 8 out of 10, they're samples. So yeah, they're great curators. They found the right thing. They reheard something, and they may have dug in the crates and taken something that didn't get much exposure. And when they say they gave music life, a lot of this music would have been top level music, but for whatever reason, every song ain't gonna be a hit. Imagine being, like Herbie Hancock, people like Donald Byrd was making so much great fucking music in the 70s and the Blackbirds, but you're releasing albums, you got Earth and Fire, you got Isaac Brothers, you got the Spinners, you got Parliament Funkadelic, you got these James Brown, you got these cats, and Stevie Wonder, doing Marvin Gaye, they doing all this shit. So if you're the Blackbirds, if you're Johnny Hemmett Smith, if you're any of these guys, One Way, the Brothers Johnson, you're gonna get kind of lost. You're gonna get lost in the mix when it comes to the charts. But the music was still fire. So yeah, 10, 15 years later, a music curator, a DJ comes through the crates. Oh, this shit hot. Let me redo it. Yeah, because the song was hot because it was hot then. But it had to compete with the Ozzy Brothers, Marvin Gaye, Earth and Fire, and it just didn't chart that high because, unfortunately, it came out, that album dropped the same weekend as a Rick James album. This isn't streaming years. This is when you had to go out and spend your money to buy an album. So, yeah, the common person may not know some of these names, but it was unfortunate that they were at Blue Note Records or a smaller record label that didn't get major distribution, and it dropped on the same weekend as the Bee Gees on the white side, Marvin Gaye, Diana Ross, all released an album that same fucking weekend. And then next week, uh, Curtis Mayfield, Aretha Franklin dropped an album, and then the week after that, the Ohio Players dropped one, followed by Zapp, and some people just got lost in the shuffle. But their music was still no less great. Roy Ayers, man, come on. Like Roy Ayers, his style of soul is what the neo soul sound is based in. The Mizell Brothers production. You dig? Donald Byrd, like, yeah, Roy Ayers, like, think about it like this. The Blackbirds, look at the, I'm saying, you look at a song like this. This is a song that was sampled by not only hip hop, but R&B too. Look at this. This song right here, hold on. This song right here. This is a guaranteed hit when it gets redone. Listen to this intro. Is that intro not fire? Come on now. Listen to how smooth this shit is. And right here, listen to this part right here when the keys come in. It just builds. You hear that? Is this shit not smooth to you? Listen to this part. You heard that shit? You heard how smooth that was? Just drums. And you heard that drum beat used a lot. A lot of hip hop sample lifted those drums and put it behind their music. That drum, that was lifted on by so much hip hop. And then here come the keys. Man, come on. Yeah. Pete Rock sampled a lot of Roy Ayers, and Roy Ayers was born and raised in Los Angeles, California. Like, you got songs like this, the LA sound. My Life by Mary J. How many people sampled that Roy Ayers? Just that part. Come on now. My life, my life, my life, my life in the sunshine. Everybody loves the sunshine. Bobby Humphrey. What y'all know about Bobby Humphrey? Another LA artist, Blue Note Records, composed by the Mizell Brothers. What y'all know about Bobby Humphrey? Blacks and Blues, Don Blackman. I love this shit right here. The lyrics are a little bit disgusting because he's talking about fucking with a 17-year-old. But I want y'all to hear this. I want y'all to hear it when this song come in. Like, this is some of the dynamics that's missing from music. You hear how soft it is? Listen, Don Blackman, he played with Parliament, and it's Dennis Chambers on drums. It's calm. Listen to this intro. Listen to this part right here. Come on now, you hear that? But what can you do when this drops the same year as Thriller? What can you do? What can you do? Come on, what can you do? Okay, you drop this, and then a few months later, Thriller comes out. What you gonna do? It's not that the song was great, it's just the fucking Thriller came out 2 weeks later, a couple months later. What's up, DJ Scrap Dirty? Man. And then it's not just hip hop, even the neo soul sound. Erykah Badu sampled this. Listen to this right here. This is something that, and those of you who listen to Incense and Ashtrays regularly, y'all know this song. It's one of my favorites. But y'all heard Erykah Badu sample this? That's the LA sound right there. Produced by the Mizell brothers also. Johnny Hammond Smith. If you follow my show, you know this song. I love this right here. This song captures my imagination. This song didn't hit hard when it came out because it dropped in 76. Was it? I think it was 76 when this came out. Come on now. Baby, why can't we smile? Ooh, come on now. Baby. Yeah, Gears dropped 76. So yeah, this is the same year that That's the Way of the World dropped. The same year that P-Funk dropped from Parliament, Funkadelic. That's the same year that Minnie Riperton dropped. The next year's song, it was so much music that came out that year. This got lost in the shuffle. Black Ivory, yeah. Here's how, look, whenever somebody's making a point, you always got to have a test and a control for your point. Dewan, why do you say music from the 70s is the culmination of Black American music? Why do I say that? Because hip hop, house, rhythm and blues, pop, K-pop, the popular sounds across the world, not just hip hop, but also K-pop and pop, still rely on samples from the 70s. We're in 2025, and we still haven't gotten past 1976. Think about that. Because in 76, they weren't sampling music out of the 50s and the 60s. Hell, by 78, your music couldn't sound like it sounded in 74. It was always moving forward. In the 60s, they weren't sampling in the 30s and in the 40s. They were now. In the 50s, they weren't sampling the 20s. They were now. In the 70s, they weren't sampling the 40s, in the 50s, and the 60s. They were now. Hip hop is still going back to the 70s. So when that's the control, okay, what do you niggas say is the best music? You keep going back to the 70s to get your shit. Yeah, Johnny Guitar Watson. We still in the 70s with our samples. Yeah, Johnny Guitar was a rapper. Man, please. Don't get me into, I think what I'm going to start doing, I'm going to start breaking down some of these stems on my Patreon. And for those of you who are new here, you can join my Patreon, patreon.com/DewanB. If you go to my live interview lounge and up, I have my 100 Years of Black American Music History series up right now on my Patreon, where I break down music of the last 100 years from the 1920s through 2020 and how we got here, the key players. I did a full course on this. It's on my Patreon right now. I have a full-on course teaching this stuff. Yeah, we are getting Galaxy downloads, Tara. Appreciate that, Denny. Yeah, the Isley Brothers. How did the Isley Brothers not get credit? The Isley Brothers' first hit was in 1959. That was the year my mom was born. Was Shout, and they're still doing it today. They're still touring today, and hip hop never honored them. Between the Sheets was Biggie's biggest hit. So much Isley Brothers was sampled out of hip hop. Not only sampled style. Rudolph Isley with the cane and the rocking the cane and the big mink jackets. Hip hop took the style from the Isley Brothers and the music. This Barry White. Just this intro right here. Listen to how much music is in the intro. Hear them strings? Strings and horns. Just so much music. We haven't even gotten to the song yet. It's just we're just gonna let it groove. Look at Rocky. Rocky like, nigga, you are talking too much. You good, Rocky? You good, baby boy? You good, baby boy? I'm talking too much? I'm talking too much? He like, yeah, nigga. I mean, Barry White is giving it, just letting it swing for a whole minute before he sing. We 1 minute into the song. He ain't even started singing yet. This is the sauce, man. This is what makes hip hop. Just let it marinate. Because these drums are lift. I hear you, a lot of you hip hop niggas lifting this drum pattern all the time. The virgin ear don't know, but I know. I know when you niggas is lifting drums. That's why y'all not gonna be any hip hop nigga that think they gonna come at me, especially a DJ or whatever. I'm gonna go through all your music and show you where you got it from, and I don't need Google to find out, nigga. I got these. I love this shit right here. When you give it up, Barry White out of LA, something enough to make me high. Listen to this change right here. I love this change on this part right here. See, you sampling niggas don't understand how, like, just that change, you go through 20, 30, 40, 100 different, okay, how are we gonna get from here to here? Nah, that don't work. Nah. Try B flat. Nah, that don't work. And you'll be at the piano for 2 hours just trying to work out that change when you make music organically. But you niggas will sample it and think you the same as Barry White. Man, if you don't sit your ass down. Yeah, Fetty Wells TV, you understand? That change is crazy. And then here you get to come sample that change and then say hip hop is Jamaican. Fuck out of here. No. The culture is ours. This music got my daddy through. I love my dad. This is what my dad rocked to. I gotta honor my father. I love my father. He's still alive too. I love my dad. I talked to him today. I gotta honor my father. This got my daddy through it, nigga. Go fuck about no Busta Rhymes and no Fat Joe. I gotta honor my daddy music. You think I give a fuck about these New Yorkers that are mad at me for saying y'all got too much dip on your chip? Calm down. You got the culture from all of Black America? Because this was made in LA. This is what my daddy was low riding to. He said, do I hear the Congos? Good job, John. Hear me? No, it ain't no Congos in that. This is my daddy's music, man. I love my daddy. My honor for my father means more than these sucker ass niggas trying to take our history and give it to somebody else. I love my father. That's right, DM Senator. Yeah, people don't have, these young punks and simps don't have no respect for the music, and they don't have respect for their elders. I respect my elders. My grandmama, rest in peace to the brother from Sam and Dave, Sam Moore from Sam and Dave. He passed away today. Rest in peace, Sam Moore. When I talk about honoring my ancestors, I gotta first start with the ancestors that I knew, like my grandmama. My grandmama listened to Sam and Dave. Rest in peace, Sam Moore, just died today. This is produced by Isaac Hayes and Porter. Rest in peace, Sam and Dave. That guitar lick was sampled a lot by hip hop, by the way. How many of these hip hop niggas are gonna say rest in peace to Sam Moore? David Porter, the producer of that song, is still living. How many people honor David Porter? My grandmama loved that song. That song, maybe when my grandmama, you know, she worked as a lunch lady, but she also cleaned and worked as a domestic. Maybe that song helped my grandmama get through a fucking day at work. So I gotta honor that. I have to honor that. I gotta honor that. Let's see what else we got here. Like I talked about Louis Jordan. My grandma used to love Louis Jordan. When rap first started getting big, my grandmama taught me about this. I know about Louis Jordan because my grandmama liked him. Listen to this. Is he not rapping? Is he not rapping? My grandmama grew up on that. When my grandmama left Texas and came to LA, that was hot on the radio. I gotta honor that, nigga. I have to honor that. I don't know the names of my African ancestors, but I do know the names of my grandmama on both sides. My grandfather's on both sides. I know my great-grandparents' names. Gertie Mae Biggers, my great-grandmother. Marion Roosevelt Foster, my great-grandfather, who was in Tulsa at the time of the Tulsa Massacre, who survived the Tulsa Massacre. My great-grandfather, my great-grandfather, Roosevelt Marion Foster, survived Tulsa. And when Tulsa happened, this was during the times, you know, he listened to the blues, and I gotta honor the music he listened to when he survived Tulsa. On my mama's side, my great grandfather, Mr. Walter Whitmore Roberts, I gotta honor. He was probably listening to Fats Waller. That was his time. He's probably listening to Cab Calloway. I gotta honor that. I know these people's names. I have to honor them. We have to honor our ancestors, black people. We got honor our ancestors that's here, man. I gotta honor the music that got my grandparents through this bullshit. And if you hip hop niggas that only spin records want to get in the way of that, then you gonna get in the fucking way. Yeah, I ain't got no Grammys. Yeah, you guys may have sold a bunch of records, have millions of followers, but I got my ancestors on my side, and they need some fucking respect. And I mean that. And you can't buy me off. I can leave the internet today and be fine financially. Okay? My income, what I do, is not dictated by the internet. I have fun on the internet. I love the internet. I was on Yahoo Chat back in the 90s, nigga. I had a MySpace page, a Black Planet page, nigga, a College Hill page. I opened my Facebook page in 2004 back when it was only open to college students. You had to have a .edu address. And my wife, who was my close friend at the time, was my first Facebook friend. She went to Duke. So the internet is playtime for me, home people. I'm doing this for my elders because my grandmama loved me. My grandmama loved me. My grandfather loved me. My grandfather just died 2 years ago at 98 years old. All the conversations we had about Count Basie and B.B. King, my grandfather used to love him some B.B. King. And B.B. King created music in the style of blues that would go into later on in hip hop. He would be sampled by hip hop a lot. A lot of B.B. King was sampled in hip hop. I gotta honor them. Leroy Hudson, yup. This is love. Yeah, it's love. Because as we saw with Fat Joe has an industry behind him. But when he said what he said about Lord Jamar and the grassroots, he's out of here. He's gone. No more BET, and that's just the first thing he gonna lose. So that's a warning to any of you mainstream hip hop niggas who think you gonna turn your sights towards me, whether it be Jam Master Jay or where the fuck, Grandmaster, whatever, who it was that was talking shit about Lord Jamar, whether it be Fat Joe or anybody else. If you think you don't come to those of us on grassroots, I got my ancestors behind me, yo. And I'm talking about the ones who were just recently departed. I ain't talking about the ones from 10,000 years ago. I'm talking about the ones that grew up that would listen to this. This right here. This love music right here. My dad turned me on to this. My dad used to always bump this. My dad used to always bump that. That's my daddy's music, nigga. This is my daddy's music. You don't think Teddy Pendergrass he's an ancestor of ours as Black Americans. Not only do I have my immediate Black American ancestors, my family, I got my extended family. I got Duke Ellington behind me. I got Count Basie with me. I got Miles Davis with me. I got Max Roach with me. Abby Lincoln. I got Ella Fitzgerald with me. Ella Fitzgerald used to have a school over here in Linwood, a daycare that so many black kids that was raised in Compton and Linwood went to, and she was so big on Black American history. Yeah, I got the Manhattans with me. I got Blue from the Manhattans with me. Rest in peace. I got Felipe Wynn. I got the Spinners behind me. There's only one surviving member of the Ohio Players, and that's Diamond, the drummer. I got Sugarfoot behind me. I got Junie Morrison behind me. I got Bernie Worrell behind me. I got Marvin Gaye behind me, nigga. I got Michael Jackson behind me. I got Prince behind me. I got Quincy Jones behind me. Hey, let me tell you something else. If you think you're gonna fuck with me, and I don't say that, I say this humbly. I say this extremely humbly. 6 months ago, the great Quincy Jones got wind of my Black American music family tree. And my documentary is bigger than hip hop, the Black American music family tree, that you can find right now over on my Incense and Ashtrays channel. That's about to get popping again. My Incense and Ashtrays. Not again, we're about to start that. Quincy Jones got wind of my tree and he vouched for it. Like, I just feel honored that I had lunch set up with Quincy Jones this past June, but he got sick and he didn't make it. But Quincy Jones, through a liaison, told them that my tree and my documentary that he saw, my documentary short, it reminded him of things he forgot about. Especially when I got into talking about Duke Ellington. I got that ancestor with me. You know what else I got? Oh, I never show y'all this. Let me show y'all this. I got this signed by Ray Charles a week before he died. You see that? To Dewan, best wishes. June 6, 2004. I never show that picture. Ray Charles died June 9th. And I got that signature for him June 6th. Somebody I knew worked for him and got that from him while he was in the hospital. I didn't get to personally meet him. Oh, sorry. Sorry. Oh, I got up. Oh, sorry, Rocky. I said, I woke Rocky up. I'm sorry, Rocky. I woke my nigga up. You all right? I woke my nigga up. Rocky was cold sleep. And I woke Rocky up. I'm sorry, Rocky. I'm sorry. You okay, buddy boy? I'm loved out here, man. With me, nigga. You know who else is an ancestor? Y'all hear this song? You know who wrote that? Sorry about that, Rocky. I woke you up. I'm sorry, buddy boy. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Rocky like, man, I'm trying to sleep. I woke my little nigga up. I'm sorry, buddy boy. But you know who wrote that song? Skip Scarborough. Skip Scarborough was my music director at church, Mark Scarborough. That was his father. And before Skip passed away at the young age of 58, 53, I think he was when he died, he used to come around. And the documentary that I'm working on now, The Gospel Roots of Black American Music, and thank you everybody who's donated to that. We still working, we working. We just fell far short of our goal, but it's the economy, man. Shit's tough right now. But I'm still giving y'all niggas this documentary, okay? Mark Scarborough, son of Skip Scarborough, the person who wrote that song, he's in my documentary on gospel music. There go Rocky. There go Rocky. Look at Rocky. Okay, Rocky forgives me for waking him up. He land. Rocky forgives me for. Rocky forgives me. Rocky forgave me. He laying on me. I almost forgot he was there. He was so quiet. But I heard Skip Scarborough himself tell me how he wrote that song. Do y'all know that Skip Scarborough, that song Love's Holiday? He wrote that around the same time. He wrote three songs about the same time. Love's Holiday and Love's Theme by LTD. That song Love's Theme by LTD, it was originally written for Earth, Wind, and Fire by Skip Scarborough. But Earth, Wind, and Fire, Maurice White passed on it. So then it went to LTD and it became their biggest hit. What we have is much more than they can see. That was written by the same weekend, by the same man on the same weekend that he wrote that song, Love's Holiday. He also wrote the song, and let me tell you how how that song came about. He and his wife were having issues. He wrote that song, and he also at the same time wrote the song "Don't Ask" by My Neighbor by The Emotions. He was having issues with his wife, and you know how women can ask around different people instead of coming to you direct. What he was telling his wife was, instead of asking everybody else about me, come to me directly with our issues. But instead of saying that, he wrote it in the song by The Emotions. Don't ask my neighbor, never ask my friend. These were stories that I learned at 15. Yeah, I said, yeah, love ballad. I said love's theme. Yeah, love ballad. So these were stories that were told to me as a 15-year-old in church while the altos were working out their section. I'll be on the drums, Mark will be on the piano. Hey, Mark, your dad wrote Earth and the Fire. He wrote that song? Yeah, and let me tell you how he wrote it. And then his dad at the time lived in Maryland, would come back to LA, and I would see him and I would ask him directly. While you hip hop niggas was going around perpetrating like you was gangsters, I was at church. Like when I was 14, 15, I was at church 3 days a week, playing the drums 2 services a Sunday, Tuesday rehearsal, no, 4 days a week. Tuesday praise and worship team rehearsal, Wednesday night play the drums for Wednesday night Bible study, Thursday night choir rehearsal, go back to church Sunday and play 2 services. That was my life from the age of 14 to the age of 32. By the time I got into my my early 20s, I pulled back on the Wednesday night Bible study. And I pulled back on Tuesday rehearsal. But I was still at church twice on Sunday and every Thursday for rehearsal. And so while the Sopranos are working out, we're trying to learn this new song by John P. Key for Sunday. Hey, Mark, tell me about your dad when he managed Confunction. And then the bass player in my church, his name was Cliff. He played with Stevie Wonder. He played with everybody. He was like a session musician from the 80s. And so, hey, Cliff, man, tell me about that time you was recording with, throw a name out there, Alexander O'Neill or Peebo Bryson, because he played behind everybody in the studio. And so while the altos are working out their section of this Fred Hammond song, I'm listening to Cliff tell me about being in the studio with fucking what's her name? Angela Winbush. And let me tell you something else. One of the pastors in my church association, his name is Pastor Johnson. Do y'all know that one of Pastor Johnson's daughters married Philip Bailey from Earth and Fire, and the other daughter married Ronald Isley? and that daughter is still married to Ronald Isley. Their father was one of my biggest, when I was like a 15-year-old drummer, he was one of my biggest encouragers because I was, he would always be like, man, DeJuan, you good? He would always be somebody that would support me and be that psychic boost that I needed as a 17 and 18-year-old drummer. One daughter married Philip Bailey from Earth and Fire, the other one, and they had a group called JS. And I remember how Mr. Johnson, Pastor Johnson, was just such an encouraging light to me. You can see the Val Young interview on my Patreon. I only have part one up. Part two, I'm going to put up part two later on this week. That's all on my Patreon. Yeah, so that's just being raised in LA. Matter of fact, last night I was talking to my wife's aunt. I went to go see her, and I'm going to interview her too. I'm going to interview her on camera, Auntie M. Auntie M sang behind Marvin Gaye, Stevie Wonder, Michael Jackson. She sang behind everybody. I'm about to interview her. She sang behind everybody. Y'all hear what I'm listening to? What y'all know about this? This is produced by Stevie Wonder. What y'all know about this? Perfect Angel. That song Ride. That's one of them. You riding. You ride with your road dog, Rocky. You all right, buddy boy? The neighbors just came home, so buddy boy over here checking. One thing about Rocky, notice Rocky doesn't lick and Rocky don't bark. That's one thing I love about Rocky. I don't let no dog lick me because dogs be licking their nuts. So I don't let no fucking dog lick me. You be licking your nuts too, Rocky. You can't lick me. Goddamn it. Ain't no licking, and it ain't no barking. Y'all see how this good boy been chilling here the whole time and he ain't said a word? You okay, buddy boy? Buddy boy. My little nigga ain't barked. He ain't squealed. It's my nigga right here. You good, boy? That's my nigga right here. That's my nigga right here. Y'all got any questions? That was Minnie Riperton, Perfect Angel. What y'all know, that was called. What y'all know about this? This is what y'all know about this. Ramp. I want to see daylight, daylight. This is just my playlist, and I got these playlists on my Patreon. Y'all got to join my Patreon. The interview of, and here's the reason why my interview of Val Young is going to stay on Patreon. I also played the music that she sang on, and you can't have the music on YouTube. Yeah. Yep, Bonita Applebaum. Yep. You see, Bonita Applebaum. That's exactly where they got that from. Ramp. That's music out of LA again. Roy Ayers. Is Jeanne used it too. I'm not gonna lie to y'all, man. I have no agenda to lie. I want us to know how great we are, and and I want the next group of musicians to be pointed in the right direction when they want to understand the roots of what it is. Because the only way music can move forward is if you learn where it comes from, you learn all the rules, and then once you learn all the rules, you forget all the rules and you innovate. That's where innovation comes from. Innovation comes from knowing the rules, knowing where it comes from, getting the soul and the essence, and then once you get that built up in you, now you innovate and you move the sound forward. I look forward to the day that we no longer need samples. There'll always be a place for samples because I want artists to get their money. But I want us to get back to where we start pushing things forward again. So my job is to leave nuggets because I'm not going to be the musician that does it. It's going to be somebody listening to me. It's going to be somebody listening to me, child. You listening to me, but your kid is listening to me too. And your kid is going to find Roy Ayers. Your kid's going to find Miles Davis. And they're going to listen to the interviews. And they're going to listen to these people talk in depth about what music is. And they'll be properly guided. And when they listen to Miles Davis talk, when your children listen to Dizzy Gillespie, when your children listen to Quincy Jones and Herbie Hancock talk, when they go back and listen to those George Clinton interviews and Maurice White, and they read Maurice White's book, when they read that, it's going to vibrate with something in their souls. When they listen to Isaac Hayes interviews, when they listen to, and they learn to study Barry White, when that next crop of musicians learns to start studying the right people, those people are going to speak to something in the soul. And what they speak to in the soul of the next generation is going to be the foundation for the inspiration and the motivation of the new sound that they have to create. Because trust and believe, I love the old shit, but I love the new shit too. And I want the new shit to be great. And I want the new shit to push the sound forward. I don't want the new shit to rely on the old shit. I want the new shit to take the old shit as a motivation to create some new shit. You okay, Rocky boy? Look at him. You tired? You okay, Rocky boy? You wanna go pee pee? You wanna go pee pee? You wanna pee pee? Gotta watch out, see when that nigga wanna go piss. You ain't pissing on my shit. Come on, Rocky boy. Come on, Rocky boy. You tired? Look at that. I'm gonna stop in a little bit. My little nigga gotta go piss. And he ain't pissing on my shit. The future's not cooked. The future's fine. We just gotta guide the code. We just gotta have respect for the future. We gotta stop treating the kids like these little things that can't be touched. And, oh no, anti-bullying. Nah, we gotta expose these babies to some shit talk and make them build some thick skin. Show them where they come from and who we are. You know, that's what we gotta do. Just guide them properly. They'll be all right. Babies will be all right. The babies will be all right. Yeah, I collect some vinyl. I got some vinyl back here. Yeah, I went to Westchester with David Bluthenthal. He was a year ahead of me. He was class of 98. I was class of 99. Appreciate that today is the nice discovery versus Lord via Lord Jamar. I appreciate that. Where you can cop the t-shirt, you can cop the t-shirt at theoneb.com. DWANB.com. You good, Rocky? You can cop this one too. Black people don't owe anybody anything but an ass whooping. Cop that at theoneb.com. Yeah, Dave Blumenthal went to Venice and he transferred to Westchester in the class in '98. And that's when I decided to quit basketball and play football instead. Because Dave Blumenthal was 6'8", playing the position I was playing at the time. I was 5'11", 6 feet at the time. I wasn't quite 6'2" yet. But even if I was 6'2" back then, Dave Blumenthal was 6'9". Like, yeah, I'm going to play football. I'm going to play football because David, got Tony Blaine, you got Brandon Granville, you got, yeah, let me go play football now because I know I'm going to be sitting on the bench with these future NBA niggas. And David Blumenthal, after USC, played a couple games in the NBA. I remember when he was with the Sacramento Kings. You okay, Rocky? You okay, Rocky? Rocky tired. Rocky tired. Chilling with my nigga right. Look at him. You tired, Rocky? You tired, Rocky? Rocky tired. Yeah, two of my classmates got hit. You ever hear of a producer named Jado? He done himself a buster. That's one of my classmates at Westchester. He was class of 2000 right behind me. But my homeboy Melvin, class 99 with me, he goes by Mel Beats. He had a couple tracks on Missionary with Dr. Dre. He had some tracks with Anderson .Paak. He went to Westchester with me. Yeah, Solar Records is overlooked. Idris Muhammad. You just brought up a name right there. Love Idris Muhammad. Ronnie Laws, yep. Gil Scott, yep. Mandrill, yep. I think the snoring. Good job, Positive Influence and Unique. Appreciate y'all. My nigga Rocky's chilling with me. This nigga getting tired. Y'all got any questions before I get up out of here? Oh, somebody said Charles Wright and the 100 Watts 103rd Street Band. Do y'all want to know the history behind the Watts 103rd Street Band? I had somebody recently debating me talking about, I forgot who it was, but they were talking about West Coast G-Funk getting its sound from the Midwest. And one thing that I gotta always bring up, one of the first Dr. Dre's first big hits using the funk sound was Express Yourself by NWA. Well, Express Yourself by NWA was a sample of the Watts 103rd Street band, Express Yourself. That's a band out of L.A. And do you know the original Watts 103rd Street band? I'll tell you. Nobody else. What I'm about to tell you, nobody else has ever heard this before. You're getting this for the first time. Do you know the Watts 103rd Street Band was just a studio band? They weren't really a band at first. They were just making studio hits. And a couple of the songs became hits. So they had to formulate a band behind what these studio musicians were doing. And do you know who played the piano for the Watts 103rd Street Band? You guessed it, Mr. James Carmichael. The same person I showed you that produced all those hits for the Atlantic Star, Michael Jackson, the Jackson 5, and the Commodores, and Lionel Richie. When he was working his way up, the studio, and he told me this story directly about 3 or 4 years ago, and I have it recorded because I recorded so many of our conversations. And he told me, he said, the Watts 103rd Street Band, it was just him, Charles Wright, and he said Charles Wright wasn't even there for the first one, and it was just a studio band. And we started just doing some music, and we named ourselves the Watts 103rd Street Band. But when Charles Wright came, they had some hits. They had to create a band to go on stage, but it was really just supposed to be a studio band. You've never heard that. You know why? Because that story hasn't been written. And I got that from the original founding member of the Watts 103rd Street Band, Mr. James Carmichael, producer from Lionel Richie and the Commodores. Yeah, if you ever heard the song Express Yourself by NWA, that was a sample, a remake of Express Yourself by the Watts 103rd Street Band. Appreciate that, Boulevard 73. My nigga Rocky. Yeah, Rocky, forgive me. Rocky, you good? You good, Rocky? I had to put his jacket on because remember yesterday, when he was in here with me yesterday, he was all cold and shivering. I had to close the garage. I want to roll another blunt, but this nigga laying on me. So True Bleed. Yeah, True. See, NorCal is 2020 Tony. SoCal is True. Ari said, Rocky ain't worried about me. You right, Rocky like, nigga, let me sleep, man. Fuck what you talking about, nigga. I'm dozing off. And he cut eye of the camera. He look, yeah, he right. He be cutting eyes at me like, nigga, the fuck are you looking at me for? I'm trying to sleep. That was across the street, Rocky. You okay? Hear that horn. Now you good now. Look at him. Look at now. He want to be all alert. Now he want to be all alert. No, Rocky, come on. Come here. It's okay. Come on, buddy. Come on. Come on, buddy. It's okay. It was just a car alarm. He was just hitting his car alarm. You gotta lock your car around here, dog. You gotta lock your car around. That's all that was. That's all that was. Yeah, Dexter Wanso. He was with the Sound of Philadelphia. Yeah, Say You Love Me by DJ Rogers. DJ Rogers, another LA great. Really put that gospel soul. I got to interview DJ Rogers Jr. I've been talking, me and him been in contact. I want to interview him pretty soon. Y'all got any questions before I get the fuck up out of here? I asked that earlier, didn't even read none of them. Anybody got a questions? Got a question? Because what I'm about to do is I'm about to roll another blunt. I'm about to pour myself some wine. And I'm going to go get my Apple AirPod Maxes. And I'm about to listen to music probably for the next 2 or 3 hours until it's time to go to sleep. Probably going to start with some George Duke tonight. It's probably what I'm going to start listening to when I get off here. George Duke probably going to be who I put in first. I'm probably definitely gonna play some Tower of Power. Appreciate that, the mob. Appreciate that positive influence. Yeah, but don't be afraid, man. We got our ancestors behind us. Our ancestors have been so overlooked and not appreciated. And so many people be like, yeah, we're gonna go back to Kemet. And no disrespect to Kemet. But why do I have to go back to Kemet when I got Billie Holiday? That woman, this woman here, had the courage to sing Strange Fruit and put her career on the line. Billie Holiday put her career on the line to sing about lynching in America. She put her career on the line. And when she sang Strange Fruit, she lost her cabaret license in the city of New York. And she lost her ability to make money in her home city of New York where she lived for 5 years because she sang a song called Strange Fruit talking about the lynchings in America. You don't think she wants to be honored? I trust her energy more than I fear any dart that can be thrown at me by a fucking Chuck D. Who the fuck is Chuck D next to Billie Holiday? Calling me a chat GPT historian. I trust her energy more than I fear your darts. All right, Infinite One lives. Have a good night. I'm gonna be out of here soon. I trust Miles Davis and his spirit and his energy. They need to be honored. Nina Simone, she needs to be honored. And I trust that as long as I stay in alignment with the mission, with love being the lead, honor and respect, that energy is going to protect me and I'll be fine. And I am fine. I talked to Prince in the mushroom trip one time. That shit was dope. And I say that with respect to Chuck D. I've always had respect for Chuck D. But for him to throw that little slick ass shot in there, okay. All right. I'm a nobody. I don't have a hit. Chuck D helped change the world with his music. So who am I? I get it. I'm just a nigga on Twitter and I'm a chat GPT historian, okay? I don't have any world changing music, so yeah, whatever. But I am here to honor Dizzy Gillespie. And he changed the world. And I'm gonna make sure the world knows how he changed the world. I am here to honor Miles Davis. He changed the world, gave us cool jazz, gave us modal jazz, gave us fusion jazz, gave us cover tune jazz. He changed music 5 times, man. And I'm here to honor that. I'm definitely gonna honor Sam Cooke. I'm in contact with some of Sam Cooke's people that control that know that control a lot of his history. I'm gonna talk to them and interview them too. and honor Sam Cooke properly. I got Sam Cooke behind me. Appreciate that positive influence. Yeah, the Crusaders, Joe Sample. I got the God Joe Sample behind me. Rest in peace. The Ancestor. Joe Sample played on so much music in the 70s and the 80s and the 60s in studio that you didn't even know. Yeah, I got Jackie Wilson behind me. Cause I'm gonna tell the story on how Michael Jackson was inspired by Jackie Wilson, how James Brown was inspired by Jackie Wilson, how Jackie Wilson, his music that Berry Gordy wrote with him helped make Berry Gordy just enough money to pitch in and create Motown. That was through his hits with Jackie Wilson. I got Etta James behind me. I think that means a lot. Otis Redding. I mean, Minnie Riperton. Eddie Kendricks. Tito Jackson. Don't ever minimize Tito Jackson. Great fucking musician. Blues musician in his own right. Guitarist. He was somebody else. Don't wait. I'm gonna close out with this. Forgive who you have to forgive or let go. When Sam died, I heard interviews with Sam Moore, Sam and Dave. When his partner Dave passed away, he and Sam weren't on speaking terms. They were whatever. And Dave Patier, he passed away, and he wasn't on good terms with Sam Moore. And Sam Moore talks about often how, if he could have anything back, it would be to have that conversation with him. Don't hold on to shit that you can let go. Forgive yourself and let go what you let go. And if you feel in your spirit that you need to reach out to somebody, we're in the Nine of Hearts here. I told y'all I read cards. For those of you new from Lord Jamar channel, I'm a card reader also. Don't be spooked, nigga. It's some real shit. But you okay, buddy? We about to go. When it comes down to it, I forgot what I was just saying. Chat room. I just lost my train of thought. Rocky made a move. I had to go check on my buddy boy. What was I just saying? Positive influence. I just lost my train of thought. I forgot what I was just saying. Help me out before I cut to Rocky. Because Rocky, I got to check on my dog right here. It's my nigga. Oh, yeah, forgive. Yeah. If you got somebody that you did wrong, or maybe it was just a misunderstanding, just find a way to let that go and dead that situation. Nine of Hearts is all about forgiveness and letting go, but it's also about ending and cutting things off. Whether it be, okay, I don't fuck with you, or, you know what, let's just let the shit go. Man, let shit go. Let shit go. If you can. Yeah, whatever happened to Adrian Evans, yeah, she was dope as fuck. She was a great fucking singer. Love is all around. But it's some people who did you so wrong, you can't forgive yourself and just release yourself from that person's energy. Don't let somebody who's done you wrong years ago steal your joy. You ain't gotta call that person and be like, well, I'm sorry, I forgive you for doing me wrong. I ain't saying that. Because the issue is when you still have that bond to people who did you wrong years ago, oftentimes you hold an internal guilt. You ask, man, how can I let that happen to me? I should have seen that coming. And you go into this loop of self-judgment. Forgive yourself. Let it go. That's what forgiveness is. Forgiveness is letting go. Let go. All right? All right? I've been here for 2 hours. Rocky, you sleep. Rocky ready. Rocky like, nigga, fuck you. I gotta go. Rocky ready to get up in this crate. But watch, Rocky gonna see my wife and then he gonna see her and be like, hey, this nigga just tired of being around me. Yeah, but I gotta listen to some music. I gotta get in my own music pocket, y'all. To where I'm not talking to nobody else, but I'm listening to my music. Thank y'all again for listening. Remember, there are no perfect messengers, only perfect messages. Book your readings. Book your readings at DewanB.com, at BreakthroughCards.com. Go to DewanB.com, get your merch. Get your Black American Music Family Tree hoodie. Oh, this is what I'm going to do. This is what I'm going to do. I'm going to talk to y'all. I'm going to roll this last blunt of the night. I'm going to talk to y'all until I'm done rolling this blunt. I got to roll this blunt. I'm not going to smoke with y'all, but I got to roll this. Here we go. I got to roll this for when I'm done talking to y'all. And donate, man, to the GoFundMe accounts for the people who need it. Up and out. Salute to everybody up in Altadena, man. I know some people who lost it all. So donate to those GoFundMes that you see. And I meant to put some of them GoFundMes in my description because a couple of my people got them up. They need your money. They need your help. They really need your help. They really need your help. Salute from France. Appreciate that, Chloe. Yeah, I think it's a beautiful place, man. It's a beautiful place. He said Dennis Edwards, don't look any further. Grape. Hemp wraps. Gots to fuck with the hemp wraps. I don't do blunts. I do hemp wraps. Yeah, yeah, don't worry about the Red Cross. Donate to them. And if you look at my Twitter, let's go to my Twitter at DewanB. I have my people I want y'all to donate to. I've been posting their links all day while I was shooting back at stupid motherfuckers, Pan-Africans that were mad at me. Go to my Twitter. I got the links up to my boy Derek, my boy Tay. These people lost their houses. They lost everything. Everything that they know, gone. Please donate to them. Please. If it ain't nothing but $5. Gotta roll them blunts perfect. Appreciate the Cash App AW1. That means the super chat. Much love, much appreciated. Stuff it in. See, you gotta stuff it and twist it to make sure you don't get no runny blunts. And that's how you roll one. That's how you roll one. You gotta twist the top. So when you light it, no runs. That nigga said the 10th breeze. Ooh, baby. For the one I love. Man, nigga said the 10th breeze. Marvin McKinley? Nigga, yeah, okay, I fucks with you. I fucks with it. I fucks with it. There we go. All right. Y'all have a good one. I appreciate y'all.